Alessandra confronts Katrina, her mother, after Kate ruins Alessandra's actual mother's dress. Alessandra, enjoying Katrina's annoyance, asserts her dominance and reminds Katrina of Kate's transgression. Alessandra then stops Katrina from striking her, declaring an end to being her punching bag and twisting Katrina's hand. Pushed to her limit, Alessandra reveals her struggle with dark thoughts, warning Katrina of potential madness. Alessandra leaves Katrina with a chilling ultimatum. As she walks away, she's suddenly overcome by pain and a flood of negative thoughts. Will Alessandra succumb to the darkness, or can she stay true to herself? Can she truly hold on to her promise not to lose herself when years of pain threaten to consume her?
Time quickly passed in the Baron's home, much to everyone's delight. For Alessandra, it meant she was closer to leaving her childhood home to live with the Duke. For Kate, it meant she would be going to live with Edgar, a surprise Alessandra was not expecting. Katrina was counting down the hours for when she would be rid of Alessandra, even if it meant she was going to live with Edgar. Desmond, on the other hand, couldn't wait for Kate to seduce Edgar and get married to him instead of Alessandra. He was praying she would get pregnant after one night with Edgar. It soon became time for dinner, and with the new changes to the house, Alessandra arrived at the dinner table. She could not remember the last time she came into the dining room to eat dinner with her family. It was always in her room alone, with nothing but the noise from the farm. Alessandra already knew which chair at the table she wanted to sit in as she neared the table. It was the one her mother used to sit in each time they had dinner.
Alessandra?
The butler, James, stopped in his tracks as he entered the dining room to find Alessandra sitting at the head of the table. In his absence, he learned that Alessandra had been proposed to by the Duke, and now she was able to roam around the home as she pleased. Even though Alessandra was engaged to the Duke, James knew Katrina wouldn't be happy to see Alessandra sitting there, so he proceeded to make her move.
My lady, it would be best for you to sit elsewhere. Perhaps here.
He approached the table to pull out another chair. Alessandra looked up at the butler and the seat he was holding out for her. I prefer the one I am in. Why do you think I sat here?
But
I am not moving. Alessandra stood firm on where she wanted to sit. You should finish setting the table before the others arrive, rather than wasting my time. James was at a loss for words, with Alessandra not moving. It was already odd enough for her to be seated at the table, but now the way she acted was different.
Katrina will not allow you to sit there.
He switched his tone to something more gentle. He was merely looking out for Alessandra. I have a feeling she won't mind. Can I get a glass of water when you go back to the kitchen? The pitchers here are empty. Alessandra was parched after spending the remainder of the day cleaning out her bedroom to get rid of the stench from the dead kitten and starting to pack up her belongings. Due to her not owning many things, by tomorrow morning she would be finished with her packing. James placed down the last utensils on the table and straightened them out. He made sure each time the family gathered to eat, the table would be pure perfection.
I will bring a pitcher for you, Alessandra.
He bowed, then left. Alessandra tapped her finger on the table to pass the time. Sitting at the table did not feel as good as it once did. Then she started to wonder, was sitting at the table ever a good experience? She enjoyed her time with her mother while they ate, but eventually, her parents would start to argue. It was not as good as she believed it to be as a child now that she was older. This house has always been toxic, but as a child, I thought that was what happiness meant, Alessandra muttered, leaning back in her chair as her past memories became depressing. She started to think about what else she thought was good as a child, but now that she was older, it certainly wasn't good. This house has so much negative energy. It deserves to just be burned down.
You really are taking this too far.
Kate strutted into the dining room like a new person. It was as if her earlier encounter with Alessandra never happened.
And do as you please, Alessandra. The higher you climb, the further you fall when this blows up in your face.
What blows up in Alessandra's face is Kate referring to, and how will it impact Alessandra's engagement to the Duke? Given Alessandra's newfound defiance, how will her relationships with Kate, Katrina, and Desmond escalate as she prepares to leave the Baron's home?
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.